That now, because today's announcement does mean that the increase in some rail fares next year will be the lowest in a decade at just 1%. It will apply to around half of all train journeys. Earlier, the Rail Minister, Claire Perry, said it would put more money in commuters' pockets.
I'm not an economist, but if you look at the forecast for wage increases from the ONS over the course of this Parliament, and you look at what I'm doing today, which is freezing rail fares at no more than RPI, it looks as if wages will continue to outstrip rail fares for the next 5 years, which is very good news. I think it is right that people who are travelling on the railway contribute something towards this massive investment programme that we're carrying out, the biggest investment since Victorian times. But equally, it's important at a time when we know people are, struggling with family budgets, that we are helping rail commuters with some more money in their pockets.
Claire Perry there. Well, let's cross now to Blackfriars Station in central London. Our correspondent Mahfuz Sadique is there. Mahfuz, morning. What have commuters been saying to you about all of this?
Good morning. Yes, they're quite happy about the lower rise in rail fares. They're obviously quite concerned about the rail fare increases that have happened in the last decade, as you already mentioned, and the Rail Minister Claire Perry this morning mentioned that this finally wage growth is catching up and is going beyond rail fare increases. And just in this morning, I mean, the transport watchdog Transport Focus has said while fares are going up for many people, punctuality is going down. So that's been one of the big issues that the commuters that I've spoken to here this morning have consistently said that they're quite concerned about. And also getting a seat. I mean, many of these season ticket holders who commute into work, they've consistently said that they're quite worried and they feel bad that every time they get on a train, it's quite difficult for them to get a seat. This is what some of them had to say.
I've been pretty happy with the service, but again, I think we're already paying enough compared to other countries in the EU.
The prices are it's cheaper to fly to Europe than to go to Manchester, so that's quite scary.
It's a huge chunk of my salary every month, so it's frustrating when you don't get the service that you're paying for.
Train services could be better in lots of areas and in lots of ways, but I guess that inflation we have no control over at the moment.
Well, that's what most of them think. But at the same time, the government, on the other hand, are trying to say that this will save average rail fare commuters £425 over this lifetime of this Parliament until 2020. Where on the other hand, rail unions have been saying that this is in contrast to the last 5 years when they're saying wages increased by 9% only, whereas rail fares went up by 25%. So they want more to be given back to the commuters. And overall, commuters are quite happy with the rail fare increase, which is much lower than the last few years. But there are a lot of sticking points and they're still unhappy with the service level that they're getting.
OK, Mahfuz, thank you for that. Mahfuz Sadique at Blackfriars Station in central